A while ago, I bought the Mechs vs Kaiju map-making game, Home, after a viewer recommended it. I haven't played it yet, but I've been massively looking forward to it. It looks amazing. So when Nick Gralewicz of Deep Dark Games offered to send me his new release, A Perfect Rock, it was an immediate yes please. And here it is, A Perfect Rock, a solo plus planet building space exploration game that uses actual rocks. If you're wondering how, don't worry, I'll get to that. But for now, I want to quickly mention a goal for this review. I have a few world building games, interestingly, one by A Perfect Rock's editor, Samantha Lee, and while they might be great games, I don't tend to gel with them very well. They can feel like a series of prompts or questions and lack in gameplay elements. But I am a fan of solo space exploration, and I've been known to enjoy a rock or two in my time. So, is A Perfect Rock the kind of game for me? This book is gorgeous and so user-friendly. The cover has these fold-out sections, so you have the rules to reference no matter what page you're looking at. It has a particularly well-chosen type of loose binding to help it lie flat when open, and the paper is uncoated so you can write and draw on it if you choose. The layout is perfect. I'm not sure I've seen a more readable, eye-pleasing layout in a game. It's so clean and simple and elegant. And the pages are dotted with incredible vibrant artwork by the designer Nick himself. I also got this galaxy map that has a chart of rocks on the reverse. You can fold this part with rules back and it'll fit into a common frame size if you want the rock chart on the wall, which is really nice attention to detail. There's also a very fancy box with a rock oracle card deck. I'll get into how you might use this later. And for full disclosure, the pack I was sent contains some additional backer rewards that I don't think you can buy, a couple of fun iron-on patches, and a story/picture book called Three Little Rocks. A decade ago, your homeworld launched probes to explore two different regions of space, one into the magical etheric cloud and another towards a fading alien signal. Two crewed ships were built to follow, but just before the second one could start its journey, your home planet was destroyed. The survivors aboard that second ship had no choice but to leave and search the neighbouring stars for a new home, for a perfect rock. You are one of those survivors, part of that planned second expedition, and in particular, you're part of a planetary recon crew responsible for surveying the rocks that you find out there. You'll roll your species, the name of your home planet, and what it was like and how it was destroyed, as well as a little bit about your expedition ship. And then the game invites you to sketch a piece of survey gear and a keepsake from your homeworld. You can do that in the book, if you like, on this 2-page character sheet spread. Before you leave for the stars, though, there is actually one more optional step. Gather some rocks. And with that, it's time to leave for the stars. There's essentially two phases to a standard turn, the journey phase and the exploration phase. In the journey phase, you pick your destination from the star systems that are connected to the one you're leaving. The trip will take years though, and so during the journey, each player rolls or chooses a prompt from these tables that come with a question to ask about what might be going on the ship during your time in the vast and lonely interstellar space. There are some variant game types, but at the beginning of a standard game, you'll essentially be choosing whether to follow the alien signal or head into the etheric magic nebula, which will flavour your game going forward to be more fantastical or slightly harder science fiction. When you arrive at your destination star system, you first look up that star in the book, which has a bit of info and a thematic prompt, and features that you might have unlocked by arriving. And then, the rock. If you're playing with actual rocks, you pick one to place on the map to represent a candidate planet in this system. You don't have to use actual rocks. You can pick one from the rock chart, or use the digital rocks in the free asset pack, or use the Rock Oracle deck. The idea is that you should have something rock-like to draw inspiration from as you explore this planet. Charting the planet happens in stages: sky, climate, surface, flora, fauna, and a secret. Plus, if you've unlocked them, you can discover hints of an ancient alien culture or etheric magic. For each aspect, you roll a d6 to give a sense of how well suited it is for your new home, from deadly to perfect, and decide what exactly the observation is using your rock for inspiration. So, for example, I'm investigating the climate of this planet represented by a fossil, and roll a 3. Problematic. I might look at my fossil and be inspired by its spiral shape and decide that maybe the Coriolis storms are really strong and frequent on this planet. If I'm observing the fauna and roll a 2, rare, then maybe the fossil might prompt me to imagine a large-scale extinction event that happened in the past. If I've unlocked the alien culture options and roll a 1, deadly, then perhaps the ridges on my fossil remind me of xenomorphs, and so I discover alien ruins that have been overtaken by some horrific parasitic life form. Once you're done surveying though, you return to your ship to debrief, deciding how suitable this planet is for settlement and give it a name. And then it's time to move on. Eventually though, after you've reached the limits of your ship's fuel, you'll have to make a decision. You won't have discovered a perfect rock. You'll have to decide which one's imperfections you can live with, and settle in to your new home. I wanted to take some time here to talk about one of the highlights of this package I was sent, which is the Rock Oracle deck. It's not at all necessary to play the game with, and actually costs a bit more than the book itself, but it is a really nice tool that might be useful for all kinds of different games. It comes in a really high quality protective case, and inside there's a booklet with some suggestions on how to use the deck, and of course the cards themselves. These are super durable and again really high quality cards. There's 50 different drawings of 50 different kinds of rocks. Underneath each one are 3 words associated with that rock. They generally take the form of verb, adjective, and noun, quite abstract ones usually. So you can do things like build a sentence by drawing 3, but that's a very traditional way of using it. Another way, of course, is to just let the image of the rock itself inspire you. And all of this can be flavoured by the symbols at the top of the card, one for an origin and one for an energy, a little bit reminiscent of alchemical symbols and properties. The booklet suggests other, even more abstract ways of using them, like drawing 3 to represent past, present, and future. I love this. It makes me want to start collecting more Oracle decks. As I was playing, I felt like there was something missing. Some kind of immediate conflict rather than the detached observation that the game delivers. My first planet had deadly magical storms that warped and twisted the landscape. The local fauna had evolved in this environment and made it part of their life cycle, so that mature larvae would sit in the path of a storm and wait for a metamorphosis into something terrifying. The oceans were stained orange with iodine, and there was a vast hole in the planet's core, and something was moving down there. I wanted to explore the eldritch chasm, survive the storms, run from the weird wildlife, but that's not part of this game. It generated a pretty cool planet, but then it was time to move on. It's lonely, intentionally so. Your crew is alone in this galaxy, and eventually they will have to settle somewhere imperfect. I thought about adding in some extra mechanics to fill in what I felt was missing. Maybe Starforged or something would work. And that's definitely something you could do, but it's not really the point of this game. The point is to imagine weird worlds and tell a slightly lonely story about settling down and appreciating imperfection. So, I still struggle with these kinds of games, but I can clearly see the beauty here, not just in the art and layout, but in the quiet, melancholy stories about accepting and learning to love what you have. It might not be perfect for me, but it is beautiful. And in the spirit of the themes of this game, I'll leave you with the last lines of Three Little Rocks. And so she was left with a troubling choice, and had to sit and take stock, until she remembered the very wise words, "There is never a perfect rock." Thank you ever so much for watching. Before you go though, I'd like to recommend some videos that I've enjoyed recently that I think you will too. Zach from Tales of the Unknown is back and making long-form videos again, and you should definitely check him out. He actually did his own overview and playthrough of A Perfect Rock recently that I intentionally didn't watch before writing my review. But there's also a super interesting series about discovering weird monsters from weird games, and overviews of both versions of Breathless by Fairy Games, the free version and the upcoming Frightmare edition. I think both Fairy Games and Zach deserve a lot more love, so go and check them out. And of course, a huge thank you to everyone who supports the channel on Patreon and Ko-fi. At the time I'm recording this, supporters are currently voting on the first audience pick review out of a big list of recommendations that people have given me. I'm guessing we'll have a result by the time this video is out. Voting on the poll is a benefit of paid support, but anyone at all can recommend games for the next shortlist, so please do. And until next time, happy adventures!